In the previous class, we started with our last chapter, that is financial statements of banks. How are the final accounts of banks prepared? Okay. Yes. Quickly revise the definition of banking, and I want somebody to tell me the definition. What is definition of banking? According to BR Act, banking means BR Act 1949, Banking Regulations Act 1949. Banking means accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawable by check, draft, order, or otherwise. Already learned one, isn't it? And I had asked you to learn it for today. Yes? I'll give you 2 minutes time. Quickly. According to Banking Regulation Act 1949, banking means accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawable by check, draft, order, or otherwise. Yes, who have finished learning? Break it and learn. Banking means accepting. Accepting. What is accepted? Accepting for what purpose? For the purpose of lending or investment. It can be either for lending or investment. Banking means accepting for the purpose of lending or investment. Accepting what? Deposits from the public. Of deposits from the public. And what is the characteristics of this deposit? It is repayable on demand, either on demand or otherwise. Otherwise means fixed deposits, recurring deposits at the time of maturity. Repayable on demand or otherwise. And they are withdrawable by check, draft, order, or otherwise. Ready? Yes, ready? Ready? Yes, start. Who's going to start? Raise your hand. Yes. Who want to give the answer? Yes, Tomlin. Begin. Very confident on your face. Yes, start.
Ma'am, according to banking regulation, banking means banking means accepting for the purpose of lending.
Okay, okay. Sorry, Tomlin. Continue. Sorry. Continue. According to Banking Regulations Act 1949, banking means
Accepting for the purpose of investment of
accepting for the purpose of lending
or investment of money from repayable on demand or by check or the draft.
Your voice is breaking for me. Okay. Okay. Now, Karthik.
According to Banking Regulations Act 1949, banking means
Just a second, excuse me. Ah, yes. Yes, Karthik, continue.
banking means accepting for the purpose of lending or investments of deposits of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawable by check, draft, order or otherwise.
Very good, very good. Okay. So from now, every day I'll be asking the definition of banking. Every day, definition of banking. Okay, being banking students, it is very important to know the definition. What is banking? Banking Regulations Act 1949. Okay. Are you all upset that I'm not asking you? Yes? Anjo?
What's ma'am?
Anjo, give the answer.
Okay. According to Banking Regulation Act 1949, banking means accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawal by check, draft, order by or otherwise.
Okay, okay, very good, very good. So every day we'll go with the definition. We'll start with definition. Okay, and so that was the definition of banking, and then we discussed the sources of income. What were the sources of income and also the expenses? Main source of income, interest on loan. Okay, interest on loan is the main source of income. Then interest on investment, interest on investment. If any investment is made by the bank, so the return that the bank receives on their investment. Fees income, fee-based services are provided by the bank, so fees income. Forex operations, foreign exchange markets, they are very active in the foreign exchange market operations. So commission on third party products. Third party products, which were they? Insurance, mutual fund, etc. So these are the sources of income. How do the bank make income? What are the various sources from which income is received? Okay, now the expenses. Expenses, revenue expenses means the expenses that are related to the operations, operational expenses. Okay, day-to-day operations, how the main income, the business, expenses related to the business of the company. So, revenue expenses are interest on deposit, general expenses of management. Generally, what are the expenses for management? Maintenance of premises and equipment, and taxation, tax payment. That is an expense. Okay, so here we saw this, and how is the transactions recorded? I told you, usually in accounting, for the purpose of accounting, what we do, first we'll identify the transactions, then we'll record it in the journal. That is a usual practice. Okay, usually that is what we do. But in banking system, coming to the banks, they do not prepare the journal. Instead of that, they directly go for ledger posting. They will post it to the ledger. Don't forget, ledger. And this transactions in the ledger, how are they posted? On the evidence of what? Which are the vouchers here that helps in the posting? It is the withdrawal slip, then pay-in slip, check. These are the what? The vouchers. Vouchers are the evidence of the transaction, the proof. Okay. So it is based on these slips, withdrawal slip, pay-in slip, check. And because of that, the name comes slip system. Slip system. Okay? Slip system. Clear? Slip system. So we are not preparing the journal. Instead of that, directly ledger posting is done. And it is based on the vouchers. Vouchers are withdrawal slip, pay-in slip, and check. You can see the pro forma of pay-in slip here. When you deposit an amount in the bank, you will have to fill up this pay-in slip. A portion of this, you can see the tearing portion, the dotted lines. This portion can be kept with the customer. The other part is given to the bank, and it is based on this the ledger posting is done. Okay. Now the characteristic of oh my god, the main characteristics of bookkeeping system. Voucher posting, that is the main characteristic. Voucher posting. Directly voucher posting is done. After that, voucher summary sheets are prepared. Then daily trial balance is prepared. It is continuously checked, continuous checking. And the checking is done not by the one who have prepared it, other persons. Okay, it is checked and verified by other persons other than those who have made the entries. Then there is a system called double voucher system. 2 vouchers are prepared. A debit voucher, credit voucher. Okay, this is what we stopped with. Next, let's discuss the advantages of slip system. What are the advantages? Advantages means, okay, what are the merits? What are the advantages? Advantages, there is no need for keeping subsidiary books. The subsidiary books are not maintained directly. The posting is done to the ledger. It reduces frauds and errors. There is chances for making errors when you journalize, when recording the transactions. That can be avoided. It reduces fraud and errors. And here, slip is the basis of accounting. It is based on the vouchers. So these are the points for advantage of slip system. And next one is disadvantage. Talking about the disadvantage, it becomes difficult and expensive. It is said that the system was very difficult and it is an expensive. Customers may feel difficulty filling up the withdrawal slip, waiting in the queues. It is difficult for the customers to continue with the system. And if the slips are lost, then it is very difficult. Then how to do the ledger posting? It is based on the slips that the posting is done, and by mistake, if the slip is lost. Okay. These are the advantages and disadvantages of slip system. Slip system, it is a system followed for recording the transactions in bank. Now, coming to the books of account. Books of account. What are the books of accounts prepared? There is a general ledger and there is a profit and loss ledger. General ledger, profit and loss ledger. We said journal is not prepared, directly ledger posting is done, and this ledger, there are 2 ledgers, general ledger, profit and loss ledger. General ledger includes control accounts of all personal ledgers. Just take down the notes. The points are enough. Control accounts. See, I think these portions are not there in the textbook. If you have checked your textbook, you can see certain pages are blank. There is printing error with this chapter. Okay, general ledger, profit and loss ledger. General ledger includes control accounts of all personal ledger, profit and loss account, asset accounts, contra accounts, contra entry. Remember? Cash book, contra. Contra accounts. And this general ledger, it is useful to prepare balance sheet. When we prepare the balance sheet, the general ledger is the one that we depend upon. Next is the profit and loss ledger. Profit and loss ledger. So here the revenue items and expenses. Revenue and expenses. Accounts related to revenue and expenses are and this profit and loss ledger is useful for the preparation of profit and loss account. Okay, profit and loss account. Finish? Okay. Now coming to the format of the final accounts, the financial statements. Two statements are prepared. One is the balance sheet as well as the profit and loss account. Do you find any similarity with the financial statements of a company? Yes? Yes or no? Forgot? Final accounts of company? Schedule 3, Companies Act 2013. Is it similar? It is somewhat similar, but it is not the same. As I mentioned, the final accounts of a company, the financial statement of a company also includes this balance sheet and profit and loss account, but it is under the Companies Act 2013. And here regarding the banks, the balance sheet format, profit and loss account format is given by Banking Regulations Act 1949. Okay? Schedule 3, same. Schedule is 3 only. Section 29 of Banking Regulation Act provides us this format of balance sheet and profit and loss account. Schedule 3 includes two forms, Form A, Form B. Okay? Form A contains balance sheet. Schedule 3, Section 29. Form A is for balance sheet and Form B. Schedule 3, Section 29, Form B for profit and loss account. Okay, now coming to this, you are expected to know the items appearing in the balance sheet as well as the profit and loss account. Problems are not there, but you should know, same like the company's account. I mean, the financial statements of a company, how you learned, what comes under which head, what is the format. Schedule numbers are important. Schedule number. See, you can see from the screen, schedule 1 to 12. 1 to 12 appears in balance sheet. 1 to 12 schedule. In the balance sheet and 13, 14, 15, 16. 13 to 16 appears in profit and loss account. Okay? So, schedule 8. Where can you find the schedule 8? It is in the balance sheet. Schedule 15. Where can you find the schedule 15? It is in the profit and loss account. Schedule 1 to 12, you find it in the balance sheet. Balance sheet is Form A. Form A. Then Schedule 3, third schedule, Section 29. Form A for balance sheet, Form B for profit and loss account. Now, first let us discuss about profit and loss account. Do you want me to share the other screen? Are you taking down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Switch on the video, Femina, Hannah, Irfan. Yes, are you taking down? Okay. So, where do you find schedule number 12? Anjo, 12, schedule 12. Where can you find?
Balance sheet.
In the
Balance sheet.
balance sheet. Schedule 4, Femina. Where can we find schedule 4?
Ma'am, balance sheet.
Balance sheet 1 to 12. Schedule 1 to 12 appears in the balance sheet. 13 to 16 is shown in the P&L account, profit and loss account. Okay. Now let's continue. Form B. First we'll discuss profit and loss account for the year. See the format. Form B. Profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March. The heading is given. And first particulars, then we have the schedule number, year ended, current year value, as well as the previous year amounts are given. The first one is interest earned. The first number one is about income, the various income, and under the head income we have interest earned and other incomes. Interest earned, that is discussed schedule number 13, under schedule number 13. Okay. Now, interest earned includes what? You can see the box. It includes interest or discount on advances or bills, income on investments, interest on balances with Reserve Bank of India and other interbank funds, and others. These are the various items included in Schedule 13, interest earned. interest earned. Okay, so the first head it is income. Number 1 it is income. Under income, schedule 13, interest earned. Interest earned includes interest or discount on advances or bills. What is this interest? Interest on loans or discount on advances or bills, bill of exchange. We discount the bill of exchange, remember? When the seller is in need of money urgently, he will discount the bill in the bank. Okay, so that is discounting of bills, bill of exchange. So when that is done, some amount is taken by the bank. Bank will not give the full amount. Certain amount is kept by the bank. That is an income for the bank. Income on investment, any investments made by the bank outside in any of the government securities or any other banks. Then interest on balances with Reserve Bank of India. Any balance deposit is maintained with RBI, the interest received upon that. And others, other income. Okay. Now, Schedule 14. Schedule 14. Other income. You can see in the profit and loss account under interest earned, other income. Other income. And what is this other income? Other income. Schedule 14. Other income means commission, exchange and brokerage, profit on sale of investment. If there is profit on sale, that profit less loss on sale of investment. Then profit on revaluation of investment, less loss on revaluation of investment. These are all other income, other incomes. Then profit on sale of fixed assets, land, building, other assets. If there is any profit or if there is loss, that is reduced. Less loss on sale of land, building, other asset. Profit on exchange transactions, loss on exchange transaction is reduced, less. Income earned by way of dividends. Okay, dividends. And the next one, the seventh one, miscellaneous income, other incomes, other kind of incomes, other than this. So the profit and loss account, 13, 14, 13 is the income earned and other incomes, 14. Over. Okay, so the first head, number 1 was income, and under income only 2 heads are coming, 2 items are there in income. Income earned, other income. Now, see the format. The next one, so these two will be added. 13, here the amounts will be written and that will be added and it will be written here in the total amount. Okay. Now coming to the second one, expenditure. The second one is expenditure. We know the expenses are the key expense of a bank. What is it? The main expense is the interest on deposits, the interest given to the depositors. Okay, and this could be in the form of fixed interest on deposit means for the fixed deposits or savings bank account. We have learned the calculation of interest on savings bank account. Okay, now the second expense is the operating expenses. Okay, for the management, day-to-day management of the bank, the various expenses related to it, that are the operating expenses. Now, under the expenses, Schedule 15, it is interest expended. Interest expended. That is various interest expenses in the form of interest. Interest on deposit. Any kind of interest is given to Reserve Bank of India, then that interest. Any borrowings is made by the bank from other bank. So this bank should give interest. So that is interest on Reserve Bank of India or interbank borrowings. Schedule 15. Schedule 15, interest expended. Schedule 16, the operating expenses. Operating expenses, expenses for the day-to-day operations of the bank, daily operations, general management of the bank. So which are they? Payment to and provisions for employees, the payment given to the employees, salary, etc. Rent, tax, lighting, the normal operating expenses that we find in the profit and loss account. Indirect expenses. Advertisement and publicity. Depreciation on bank's property. Audit fees, auditors' fees and expenses. Low charges. Postage, telegram, telephone, etc. Repairs and maintenance. Insurance. Other expenditure. Okay. So again, so interest expended is schedule number 15, operating expenses 16. And there is one more item, provision and contingencies. It doesn't have any, there is no schedule number for provision and contingencies. Interest expended is 15, operating expenses 16. Provision and contingencies doesn't have a schedule number. Okay, so again, these columns, they are added up, written here. Then from 1 minus 2. So this income minus expenditure will give the profit or loss. Net profit for the year. Okay, net profit here. And if there is loss, that is written here. If there is loss, that is reduced and the amount comes here. Okay. Then along with this profit, some more items are added. Okay. So this is about the profit and loss account of bank. Form B, Schedule 3. Okay.